Hi everyone, this is the full moon in Cancer on January 1st, New Year's Day. In New York, Eastern Time will be 9:25 p.m. There's going to be two full moons this month, the second one being our first eclipse of 2018, which is going to be interesting. This is the first one, and it's interesting to me because it's, the new year, new, but it's a full moon. But it kind of coincides because most people do their resolutions, which I'm always against. I'm always like, don't spout out about what you don't want. Talk about what you do want. But in this case, you might be... it's going to be a good time to eliminate and purge, kicking off the new year with a full moon, because that's when we want to eliminate and purge. But it also brings things to fullness and fruition. It's in Cancer down here. It's making a lot of aspects. It's in a grand trine in water. We've got an exact trine to Neptune. So very dreamy, very spiritual, mystical, dreamy. I remember, this is 9:25 p.m., later. It's like a day later than New Year's Eve night when everybody's doing their stuff. I remember about going to the Lords of the Karma. And since we've got all this stuff in Capricorn, I think it's going to be a good time, and with this Neptune, to really tune into some energy. I'm not even really sure what it's about anymore, but I remember years ago in like the early 90s doing the psychic fairs, and this one woman talking about, well, at the stroke of midnight, you go to the Lords of the Karma, and you talk to the Lords of the Karma, and I'm not even sure. I don't even know why I brought it up, but maybe we should look. If anybody knows more info, they can... maybe I'm supposed to look into it and do it again. I can't even remember what it was about. I believe the Lords of the Karma are almost like the review board of your afterlife, kind of a review council of wise ones or whoever. It might be, but I'm not for sure. If somebody knows, put it in the comments. But besides, that's what got me, was how everything's pointing down at this moon. And look at all this Capricorn. It's almost like they are. You got everybody up there. You got Saturn, Lilith, Venus, the Sun, Pluto. It's almost like they are the board of reviews or whoever, Like those movies. What is that movie? That old time movie, Jason and the Argonauts. And the gods are all sitting up in the cloud up above. It's almost like that, right? To me, it looks something like that. It reminds me of that. And there is this cloudy water energy going on here. I mean, I feel like when I look over at how it's trining Mars and Jupiter, wishes can come true, I feel. And we're going to get to that stuff up there. That Lord of the Karma thing just popped into my brain. But let's look at this. That Jupiter, like, that could be kisses. Kisses of wishes and luck coming true. And then when I said kisses, of course, I thought of kissing on New Year's Eve. I used to always I would go hide in the back room when I had to work at the bar. Because I always hated that. I hated everybody trying to kiss me. I guess that says something about me, but it's always like, oh, okay, Happy New Year, back off. Well, New Year was always a weird day for me because I always worked it. When I played in bands, when the live bands were a thing, before DJs and karaoke and all that, I mean, you could make a living playing in bands. And you played on New Year's Eve, you had a gig, you played every year. So I worked, and then I worked bartending too, in bars and managing the bars and stuff. So I always worked on New Year's Eve. So I really like to just be quiet and not be out in all the hoopla and everything. And in the bars, we always called it amateur night. Because people that don't normally drink would be out, and they would be, wasted and puking, and it's like St. Patty's Day. It's just like we call it amateur night. I don't even drink anymore. I mean, very rarely, very little. But back in the day, that's what we used to call it. I don't know how I got off on this, but well, the alcohol will be flowing too, in the partying and everything, and with the Neptune. I think if that's your game, if that's your bag, and you want to go out and get wasted and have a good, a good time could be had in that environment with the Neptune and the moon, and Jupiter will make it really fun. Mars and Scorpio, I don't know, there could be fights, so that's inevitable. When there's a bunch of people getting wasted, inevitably, with alcohol, there's going to be fights, right? But, really, I think it would be overall a good time had by all. It looks like it could be very fun. But it could, if you want to go that quiet, mystical route, it's very conducive for that as well. You know, the water signs are very, you know, it's internal, it's spiritual. It's the thing I always say about the Neptune energy and the Pisces energy is, you know, Neptune, Pisces, right? 12th house. It's, you know, you can go both ways. There's two fish. The fish swims upward. You're transcending reality. You're spiritual. You're, you know, you're imaginative. You're spiritual. You're getting downloads. And then, or downward, you're escaping reality through drugs, alcohol, mental illness. I mean, when I said that, when I thought about the downward fish and I saw the Mars and Scorpio, there could be something. People do kill themselves around this time. I mean, that's not anything to make light of, or, you know, really, maybe I shouldn't bring it up, but it did pop into my head. You know, there's always another day. There's always another day. And New Year's is always a time for a new day. It's a new day. Back again when I worked on the psychic lens, I would get, there's one line I signed up for. Somebody saved, one of the psychics saved somebody from committing suicide. And they'd play this infomercial at whatever, you know, 3 in the morning or whatever. And you had to work those hours because that's when they'd be busy. You had to work so many late night shifts like that. And they're doing this infomercial. They're saying, it could save your life. Well, bam, 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 bam. You know, I'm getting suicide calls like one after another. And talk about, you know, you're trying to get your energy up and be inspiring, and talk about, you know, just inflated, you know, the energy just inflated right out of your, but what I used to do back then, that's how I got to this point. I don't think I would go this route now, and I don't want to, I hope nobody's committing suicide. I mean, I don't even know why I'm talking about this stuff, but this is reminding me of that. You can get in a dark place with this stuff. You can get in a dark place. But I used to try to scare my Catholic upbringing. It would come out, man. And I would try to scare them with tales of hell. Because, well, there are near-death experiences of people who have went to hell. Or so they thought. But, you know, when you get further along in the path, I believe that it's all according to your expectations, you know. And you realize that, like, people who are Christian will see Jesus. People who, you know, whatever your religious affiliations and your beliefs, whatever your expectations are, you know, that's what you'll see on the other side. Buddha, whoever, you know. So, but I read a book years ago about people who committed suicide, and they went straight to, you know, they experienced really hellish, had near-death experiences, and came back and experienced really hellish things. It also brings to mind the movie of What Dreams May Come, too, where the woman, the wife, kills herself. And it's not about she's experiencing hell necessarily, like as a punishment kind of a thing, but she's just, that energy of the depression that took her there is just amplified times, you know, a lot, 100, you know, and it can be impenetrable. So I don't know why we got on this, but this can be kind of a dark thing. So hopefully it won't be, you know, hopefully it's merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Well, it's snowing right now. We're almost on Christmas Eve, and it's snowing right now, which is kind of cool, but I don't feel like shoveling snow. My back's hurting. Whatever. Yeah, the Grand Trine of Water, creativity, spirituality, depression. You know, the downside is depression, escapism, you know, those kinds of things. So it's an interesting mix. But for a longer, you know, this is almost like kicking off this new year. Even, you know, even though, you know, really the solstice is the new year, but it's sort of kicking off the new year. And the council of the wise people are up here, the elders. You know, I feel like Venus and the sun being there, it's kind of softening this energy. It's kind of like we're having a meeting up here. You know, we're having a meeting with these guys. Let's take Palace and the Note out of it. I have something to kind of, you know, if you just look at it, like these guys here, the group that's in Capricorn up here, you know. I wonder what card this is. Oh, the Page of Cups. Anyways, you know, we're having a meeting. Going to a meeting. And we're, you know, we're going to make a plan. We're going to make a real plan that's tangible and obtainable and doable and practical. And we've got all the, we've got some power players up here. We got Pluto on one end of the group and Saturn on the other end of the group. So we've got these sandwiched in but see, the Sun and Venus is like giving it like a softer energy. It's not so like, okay, crack that whip, get to work. It's more like, yeah, imagine what we could create with this. If we put in some hard work and effort, imagine what we could create. And ideas could come as how to build the future that we want and the building blocks for the future that we want. And Lilith's going to be in here for a little while now. Lilith in Capricorn, I think she's pretty at home in Capricorn, because she's like the independent woman. She's industrious. She's got things to work with. She can, may roll up her sleeves and make it happen. She's not reliant on a man and doesn't want to be. She's independent, and she could really work with and utilize that Capricorn energy to really, Lilith I think is happier here than say in an air sign or something more lighthearted, because Lilith is not a lighthearted energy. She's a pretty serious, she's pretty serious, and she's pretty fiercely independent, and Capricorn is definitely a very independent vibration. So it's the council, it's the what did we call them in the beginning? The Lords of the Karma. The council. I just see him sitting on that cloud looking down, just like that movie, Jason and the Argonauts, I believe it is, where the gods and goddesses are up in the clouds. The other thing that struck me, this really struck me when I opened it up, how everything is like sort of pivoting or on the shoulders of this. It's like it's almost in the feminine, not Venus is the feminine, but also the moon is the feminine. It's the mother, it's the caretaker, it's the nurturer. It's the one who has to, it's like almost like everybody's making demands on them. Like they've got these big grand plans and it's like, okay, you take care of it now, And, the same here. It's just like, yeah, we have these dreams now, you make it happen for me, And it's almost like the traditional role of the woman or the mother in the family. She carries this heavy burden on her shoulders of all this, the weight of all these demands from others, So that can be something that's going on too. But it looks like a little bit of it's shouldered over here, by the node and Ceres in Leo. And that's squaring the Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter's squaring that nose and Mars is squaring the nodes. So Jupiter squaring the nodes is going to bring opportunity for you to realign with your path, realign with your true path. And Mars squaring the nodes is going to give you the energy and get up and go and drive and ambition to really take action. This could bring some lucky breaks or lucky ideas or insights, but then you got to implement them, and that's where the Mars energy really comes in. It's it's in the grand trine with the full moon, and it's squaring with the nodes here, along with Jupiter. Mercury's sitting over here kind of by himself over here. See, it's trining the node also, yeah. Mercury's trining the node. Well, Mercury is a planet and an energy of action and movement too. So it's great to dream about how I want to change my life, how I need to realign with my path, how I've lost my way. What's the name of that song? She's a little lamb who's lost her way. It's not the fairy, it's not, the one that I'm hearing is not the one of, like the little fairy tale kids song. It's like a Marilyn Monroe or somebody singing it. It's one of these sultry, blonde, women of the 50s. I'm a poor little lamb who's lost my way. Or was it even like Ginger and Gilligan's Island? It's somebody, it's like a real sensuous woman who sang it from that era, like Marilyn Monroe or Ginger, that type of energy. I'm a little lost lamb who, I gotta look that up. Hold on a second, because that's really coming through pretty strong here. I got my webpage open. If I can't find it, I'm sure somebody will come up with it. A little lost lamb. Sometimes it's kind of more than one thing. Lyrics. I'm not sure if I'm a little lost land. Oh, it's like from the 50s or something. No, they're giving me like hymnals, like religious signs. It's not religious. Well, if anybody knows, I don't know why that came in. I don't even know what I was even talking about when that did come through. Sorry. But let's look at some more stuff in this chart. Well, the Uranus and Palliser, they've been hanging together over there. They've been hanging, and I always want to say the mothers of invention, you know, like Frank Zappa. They've been hanging together. It is invention. It is insights. It is new. What's the newest thing? The next technology. What are we gonna? How are we gonna change? How are we going to have a revolution? And it's Aries gives them that, you know, energy again, like we were just talking about. Aries and Mars are the same energy. Very similar, you know, expressed differently because it's in Scorpio and whatever, but it's you know, basically the same energy. And it's action. It's do something. It's make it happen. And it's Uranian. Uranian is all about downloading new ideas, space age, you know, technology, you know, all this kind of stuff. So we're making that happen. We're bringing. They're telling me that like the energy's coming in fast and furious. People are getting downloads, and the higher energy's coming in fast and furious. And I think more and more people are waking up. You know, it's lighter, it's higher dimensional. It's ET for sure, and the South Node is right in the middle of Aquarius there. You know, it's this, which is Uranus's ruler. That's why I bring it up. Aquarius, Uranus. It's right in that Aquarius mode there with Juno. Juno is going to meet with the South Node there, huh? So beauty in that. I think that could, you know, there's a lot of fear. Even if you take, there's a lot of fear about ET stuff for sure. And we're totally programmed. I mean, especially I remember like when I was a kid, remember that Outer Limits, you know? And it's this black and white TV show, and these freaking freaky monsters that want to eat your head off and stuff. They look like freaking fish heads and all this really crazy looking, scary stuff. You know, it was scary to me when I was a kid. And aliens are, ooh, better be afraid of them. But also, beyond that, Uranus, Aquarius, you know, that it deals with beyond space creatures or ETs or whatever. It's the next new thing. It's moving forward into this new age, and people are afraid of that. Many people are afraid of that. Many people want to keep things how they were. You know, many people are that, and this is how it is. This was what was said 2,000 years ago, so this is what it's got to be. And just like look at, I did that video about my glimpses of the future and the teeth thing, and I thought it was stem cells. A couple people said that's probably stem cells, that they can in the future they'll be able to grow new teeth. You won't need like bridges or implants or anything. And you know, stem cells. How long did people fight against stem cells? I mean, that was just crazy. Because they're just, why fight against stem cells? Why is, you know, stem cells are not bad, but they're just so afraid of new and different and everything. And even the turn that America, you know, the United States has taken, you know, with going back to this old patriot, turning back the clock, you know, making America great again, because it's, you know, trying to block the new. Trying to block the new, and it comes from fear. It just comes from fear. You know, people are afraid of all sorts of stuff. You know, and they want to keep things that it's better the hell I know than the hell I don't know, or whatever. You get into that again. So this is where we came to Earth to be a part of this, everybody. You know, we came to Earth to be a part of the Aquarian age. You know, we came to Earth to be a part of the Great Awakening, and you know, sometimes it's not easy. It ain't easy to get to heaven when you're going down. Climb to the top of the mountain. Sing. What's the name of that song? is it? I can't think of it. It ain't easy to get to heaven when you're going down or something. I might as well look it up. I know some people don't like when I look up these lyrics, but when they come through, they very often have messages in them. It freaks me out. Because I don't, I'm getting a couple of the words, and I don't know the lyrics, and I'll look it up, and it's like, wow. Let's put "To Get to Heaven." Oh, please stop feeding me the songs now I'm hearing. If you want to get to heaven. Stop. Yeah, this is it, when you climb the top of the mountain. Oh, it's Bowie. Look out over the sea. Of course it's Bowie. Climb the mountain, look out over the sea. Think about the places perhaps where a young man could be. Well, young, new. When you jump back down to the rooftops, look out over the town. Think about all the strange things circulating around. Well, that's the truth, right? It ain't easy. It ain't easy to get to heaven when you're going down. All the people got their problems. That ain't nothing new. With the help of the good Lord, we can all pull through. We can all pull through. Get there in the end. Sometimes it takes you right up to sometimes it takes you down again. It ain't easy. Satisfaction, satisfaction. Keep me satisfied. I've got the love of a hoochie coochie woman. She's calling from inside. She's calling from inside. Try to get to you. All the women really wants. You can have her something too. Well, I don't know if there was any deep insights there. Maybe somebody got one. That was coming through really strong though. Yeah, but the Uranian age, so, and aligning with the nodes, like we were talking about, your soul purpose. I mean, I do those readings too. I do the soul's journey, its past lives and readings, and I look at your chart, and a lot of people like those. And by the way, I still have the year ahead readings for another week or so if you're watching this in December, and then it won't be around till next year. But there's many things that you're here to do. It's not like, oh, I came here to usher in the Aquarian age, and that's the end of that story. That's the bigger picture. That's the bigger picture of why we all came here. And if you're here on Earth now, you came here for that. Maybe you've lost your way, like the little lamb who's lost his way. But you can come back to it. But there's many other things. There's personal, emotional, karmic relationships. You don't just come here with one thing that you're working on. It's Earth School, there's a bunch of stuff that you're working on. But then there's these bigger things that we're all coming. And then there's generational things too, like I've talked about before, the Pluto and Virgo, the Pluto and Uranus and Virgo generation, of which I am, mainly born in the 60s. We came to do clean up food and health, bring about holistic health things. That's a generational thing that many of us have come to do, So there's lots of things that you've come to do, but everybody here on this planet and everybody watching this video came to be a part of the Aquarian age, came to be a part of this great awakening. Yeah, there's other things you're going to take care of while you're here. Well, I'm going to Earth, I might as well work on my relationship with, and I might as well work on this or that while I'm there, but the bigger picture is to elevate Earth into this new vibration, so that's happening. And people are awakening to that, and people are getting downloads, and people are thinking of new ideas. And a lot of times it's sad, because these are squaring to this stuff here. Pluto's squaring this still. That there's the old paradigm wants to suppress it, wants to put on the brakes, like with the stem cells or whatever, oh no, we can't have that, we can't have stem cells that save millions and millions of lives, and unnecessary suffering and unnecessary operations and all different, oh no, we can't have that. We're going to put some leeches on you and bleed you. Bleed you dry. I'm getting off a little bit on the tangent. I got a little caught up in some of the stuff that's happened. I'm trying to release it myself and not focus on it, not go into the anger of it, not be in opposition. Instead of being in opposition to what you don't want, embrace what you do want. That's the ticket. That's the golden ticket, they just said. That's right, baby. That's the golden ticket. Okay, I think that's probably a good place to leave it. I'll come back for my final thoughts. And here's my website. You know, I was so gung-ho about those t-shirts, but they're not, if you look on my art page, you can find them. You can get to them, just these ones I have here, by direct link. But if you click on the general tab, it comes up as no search found. It's the thing that they're doing. It's Amazon, because they're having issues fulfilling their orders, so they're calling it throttling. They block people. I've gotten blocked, so nothing I can do about it. Also, I don't really talk about it much, but these are these cool, I do these personalized mandalas from your birth chart. I don't know if you've ever checked them out. I take the lines of your chart and I do this designs, and there's so much cool stuff in there. I have that. I do have a few astrology-based t-shirts you might want to check out. Astrologers have the stars in their eyes. You know, I have this in various colors. What's your sign? I don't know if I can roll over. Oh yeah, I can roll over it. There we go. What's your sign with all the symbols? So those you can get to by those direct links if you're interested. Also, again, if you go back to my site. Oh, come on, man. Where's my site? Oh, darn it. Oh, there we go. If you go on my site, there's all sorts. Here's, you know, the menu. And if you're on mobile, of course, it's like pull out on the side. But I have all sorts of stuff. I have books and the readings. That's what I wanted to talk about really quick. You may want to make a donation too, to me or your favorite YouTuber. But the latest editions now, I want to go to the readings. Here we go. Year ahead is right at the top. So this is a really cool reading. I do your numerology and get your major arcana card for the year. I do look at the transits to your chart in a general way. I don't look at, it's not an hour-long astrology reading. It's about a 15-20 minute reading, but I cover a lot. I'm not, you know, I'm concise, I get to the point. That's from all my years of working on the psychic line. I always felt bad that they were paying $5 a minute, you know, so I would always just try to bam, 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 get to the point. You know, don't dance around it, like nail it right away and make it fast. So I do, it is kind of a faster reading, but it's chock full of information. It's always really popular. Then I do your 4 quarters of the year, and your animal totem, and your astrology, and your numerology with your tarot cards. So it's a really cool reading, and I have regular other readings that you can find these all here. That's the soul reading. So you can find that all on my readings page. Please do check it out. Let me get back and take a final look at our chart here. So here it is, the full moon. It's a doozy. I mean, this water energy could go a lot of different ways. People are definitely going to be out partying and having a good time. So hopefully it doesn't get out of control. Hopefully it stays all in good fun. I just keep coming back to that Neptune. I feel like there's a lot of depression and stuff, you know. And depression turns to anger, too. That's, you know, people could just be like, you know, some people go out and get drunk and just to get in a fight. I mean, I've known people like that. I've seen that, you know. I've seen it all. I mean, that's why I don't like to go in bars anymore. It's just like, I've seen it all. Because my parents, I grew up in a bar, basically, you know. And it's just like, people go there to drown their sorrows. People go there to, you know. Well, my mom used to always say it's a good business to be in, because people go there when they're sad to drown their sorrows, and then they're happy to celebrate. So it's a foolproof business, so she would say. But people go, there's people that get drunk and want to start a fight with somebody. I mean, I've seen that a million times. And there's those kind of people will be out on New Year's Eve for sure. And, you know, maybe they know that about themselves, and they're just like, so they don't drink, but then on New Year's Eve they're out partying. That's why we used to call it, again, like the amateur night, you know. And then there's people that just get so wasted and they're puking and falling down and whatever else, you know, and it's just, it's a crazy wild night, and it could be crazy wild fun if you're into it, and a lot of people are, and I'm not pointing the finger at saying it's bad, it's just, you know, it is what it is, but it's going to be a whopper. It's going to be a doozy with all this water. A lot of the drinks will be flowing, okay? So, go err to the side of the Jupiter. Try to embrace the Jupiter side. Try to have fun, have a good time, make it happy. You know, don't be one of those people who are laying in your own puke or whatever. Okay, enough of that. So yeah, there's a lot here. This is a big thing here. And if you're that woman, well, not necessarily a woman, if you're that person that everybody turns to, everybody, you know, protect. Put up a barrier around that. Don't allow everything to come down on you like that. Because sometimes that's it too. People who are yes, 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 okay, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you, and then they just they have to go get wasted just to, you know, because nobody can really do that. Nobody can really do that. You know, this reminds me of the Ten of Rods in the tarot. Let me see if I can whip that card out real quick. I have my little mini, the mini, bobini, banana, fana, for Benny, me, my, mini, Rider-Waite deck. Yeah, there it is. This is what this reminds me of. You can see it. Some good light on it. There, see that? You can't do that forever. That is unsustainable. And that's very much what this reminds me of here. This reminds me of, you know, the weight of being Mr. Nice Person and stuffing your feelings down, you know, and not, you know, this kind of energy is very different from Lilith, you know. Lilith doesn't do that kind of stuff, you know. So you got to find the balance in between, obviously, but for some people out there, I need to tell you that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no, I can't do that right now, or my plate is really full and I can't do that. And if you're on the other end of this, be a little more kinder, be a little more considerate. Is there somebody in your life who you're always dumping on? And maybe you think, well, I pay them and that's their job, like if you have an assistant or somebody like that, you know. But maybe cut them a little slack, you know, maybe don't be, you know, think about it. Think before you dump. Okay. Maybe you could take on a little more responsibility for yourself. Nobody has to be this. Nobody deserves to carry all the weight. Just spread the weight. They got a nice grand triumph. We got a nice way to be in the distribution here. Okay? All right, everybody. So this is it. This is the first of 2 full moons in January. Second being that eclipse. That's going to be real interesting because it's in Leo again. And I was telling everybody, some of you I know watch astrology and don't watch the other reading. I was telling everybody in the tarot readings, you know, I believe that it's absolutely connected to that eclipse back in August, you know. So that was whatever we initiated then, it should come to fruition now or come full circle now, or, you know, there's going to be a connection. So it's worth going back and thinking, you know, what was going on there? What was going on in that eclipse in the summertime, 8/21? As we enter 2/18, I was into that too. I was all freaking out about that because it's 2/18, and it was 8/21 was the eclipse. So it's definitely like sort of a precursor of 2/18, I feel. And again, I mentioned it in the other readings. So that number is kind of magical to me because it was my brother's birthday, 1/2/08, December 8th. And also growing up at my mom's house, our phone number, my whole life was the last 4 digits was 8102. And so it's just popping up everywhere. Maybe I could pull it up. Oh, did I upload it? Oh, let me see if I uploaded it. I was on a box on my porch the other day, and I was going to show it in a video. Let me see if I can whip this out really quick. It's going to force me to leave the chart. I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave the chart and see if I have it. I mean, I'm just seeing it everywhere. I'm seeing it on license plates. I'm seeing it everywhere. Let me see if I can find it in here without showing you every single picture I have on my drive. Every single thing I have on my drive. I hope I uploaded it. I don't know that I did. These aren't even loading. It's hard to tell. It would be a numeric one. Well, you know, I'm sorry about this delay, and I'm not going to I'm not going to edit it out because it's just a huge hassle. It takes another couple hours to do the editing and uploading, so I won't do it. So here's my site. Please visit it. Thanks for watching the chart. Have a great new year. This is Vickie really wishing you lots of love. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.